Jan, really, really rarely does somebody live up to the hype so instantly at his first occasion. You obviously know the dad, you know the family. Nobody was expecting this, or were they, given that he scored a hat-trick on his Champions League debut too?
No, it was unbelievable. And not only that he scored a goal, but it was somehow in like 3-4 minutes, you saw why they got him. Because you saw when he came on, somehow their play, their balance in their play just changed. They were more orientated into the striker. And the first half, they could have been 4 or 5 up. Still, they lost it as sometimes Dortmund do, and that's why we're not sure will they be the biggest challengers to Leipzig and Munich. And the game was changed around. And I talked to some of the Dortmund players afterwards, and they said the same. We have missed that kind of player, and that's why Dortmund got him.
He was not even fit. He had that little knee injury, wasn't it, during the training camp they had in Spain. And he's certainly the last game he played, I think, was December the 10th. So he's not properly fit. He's clearly short of match fitness because he hasn't played for a long time, which is normal. And Favre said he can't play for 90 minutes. He probably can't even start. And I don't think we will see him on Friday night against Cologne with maybe more than an hour or probably more off the bench. And yet he still does 20 minutes like the ones he had after coming on and scoring those 3 goals. It's incredible.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, first of all, imagine when you get fit, the potential there. But I had the interview with Favre afterwards, and I asked him if he ruined your plan, because I think it was good leadership to put Erling at the bench from the start in that game against Augsburg. They, as you're saying, they are playing Friday against Cologne, and then they're playing Union Berlin, 2 home games, and that's a good place to present him. But the boy presented himself, and he will look after himself. But of course, he's been through a tough time now where he couldn't train regularly, and having the Champions League, where what the German call the Englische Woche, the English week, where they play 2 games a week, and I think this is some medicine as well. Like that, there can't be a better medicine that any doctor can give you than score 3 goals on the debut.
Jan, incredibly, there are some people who may not be entirely familiar with this, but I think he's easily the most hyped teenage striker since Kylian Mbappe. But for those who don't quite know, and there's an excellent column by me sort of explaining how he ended up at Dortmund and not at some of the other clubs. It seems to me that in some ways, the fact that he has a dad who was a former professional footballer, the fact that his family are very involved, they've asked a lot of questions. It seems that his progression has been very, very carefully planned out in going to Salzburg, in getting the famous release clause, and I think we. Pretty sure there's a release clause for him at Dortmund as well. It almost seems very, very scientific the way he got to this stage, very carefully planned. Now, you're also the father of a professional footballer. I mean, is this accurate? Did they kind of sit around and say, okay, what is actually best for our son? And is the fact that Haaland is a football man, the dad is a football man, does that mean that he probably has access to better advice and more knowledge than another guy?
Well, first of all, I think there are a lot of stupid former football players who are also dads. So I think that is not a general rule. But I think when you've been in a business, you don't have to relive your career through your son. So you always look for what's best for him. What was best for my son was to go to an American college, make his education, and see what's happening. That was good for my son, and then he can relive his dream now in playing the Scottish Premiership and so on and so on. But for Erling, I think even for his dad, it was not like it was like planned, but there was always a thing that he's going to develop. Development was always the headline for all his career. And then when he went to Molde, Molde was that club in Norway who developed better young players. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the manager there. And imagine for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer putting so much prestige into getting to Manchester United, and they still choose to go to Dortmund because that was a better environment for him to develop. And that's why they went to Salzburg. He had an offer for Juventus, was an enormous amount of money for then an 18-year-old boy, and he still went to Salzburg because that was a great philosophy how to create and develop players. And I was yesterday at a program in Germany called Doppelpass, and I said, and we were talking about Erling, of course, and I said this morning I think it's a good way after scoring 3 goals in a debut, and no disrespect to Dortmund because I come from a village with 900 inhabitants, but still it's better to wake up in Dortmund after 3 goals than in Munich or in Manchester or in Liverpool or in Torino, because they will protect him. They have a plan for him, and in Dortmund this environment will do the boy very, very good.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.